What is up, guys? I'm here back again with Marcus.
Hey, what's up, guys?
And today we're going to carry on manoeuvres and learn how to parallel park. Okay, so we've talked about clutch control and how to make your car move really slowly. Now, let's talk about the mechanics and the reference points that you need to use to parallel park.
Cool. Right.
Firstly, you need a starting position. And it's important to note that when you're on your driving test, the examiner will pull you over on the left and then get you to park. So what you're doing is pulling over and parking and then moving off and parking again. So make sure there's no cars coming down the road, because the last thing that they're going to expect you to do is move off and then park again. So no cars behind you, no cars coming up behind you at all when you set off. In real life, when you do this, what you're going to do is drive up alongside your reference vehicle with a left signal on, so the car behind knows what you're up to, stop and then park. So just notice the difference between doing this on a driving test and doing this in real life. First of all, we need a starting position, and the starting position is going to be about half a meter away from your reference vehicle. That's the vehicle in front of us right now, and perfectly parallel. Once you're there, stop. Put your car into reverse, and what do you do before any reversing?
Check all the mirrors and blind spots.
Check all around. Make sure you've got a 360-degree view of what's happening around you. Then, as you reverse back, your first reference point is going to be when you can see the back of our reference car in your back passenger window.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Once you're there, you're going to be slightly past the reference vehicle, which means that when you start turning left, you won't be too close to it.
Right, okay.
Cool. So if you can't see the back of the vehicle, you need to go back a little bit further. If you've gone a tiny bit past the back of the car and the back passenger window, it's not a big deal. It just means that you're going to finish a bit further back.
Okay.
Next, once you can see the back of the car and the back passenger window, take one turn to the left with the steering wheel. One whole turn. So the forward sign goes right around and comes back to flat again.
Sure, okay.
And the way we're going to steer on this manoeuvre is nice and slowly. Try and match the speed of the car to the speed of the steering.
Right.
Cool? So if your car's going slowly, steer slowly. If your car stops, you need to stop steering.
Sure, okay.
Then, as you're coming in towards the curb, look in your big mirror. Can you see the door handle?
Yep.
Okay, the door handle's going to touch the curb, just the perspective. It's going to look like it's touching the curb, and that's when you're going to start steering right. We don't need to stop at these reference points, just start steering at that point. Okay. And you're going to steer right twice.
Okay, cool.
So your wheels start here, you take one turn to the left, they go here. Then you take two turns to the right, 1 and 2. So your wheels are the same amount left as right.
Right, okay.
And then your car starts coming in towards the curb, and once you're parallel in a parked position, straighten up your wheels, one turn left and stop.
Yeah.
Again, just like with all manoeuvres, if there's something coming down the road at you, stop, let them pass. If there's any pedestrians on the pavement that you're reversing towards, stop and let them pass. We should not be driving towards any pedestrians while we're doing a manoeuvre. If you're in a position that's blocking the roads and you know that the car coming towards you from back or front won't be able to get past you, carry on with your manoeuvre. But as soon as they've got room and they attempt to get past you, you need to stop and let them pass. Cool?
Right, okay, cool.
Great, let's give it a go. Okay, so we've got a reference vehicle in front of us, that white van.
Okay, cool.
And so, right now, what we're going to do is move off into our starting position and then reverse park back into this position again. All right?
Yeah.
So, let's set off. First gear. Observe. Remember to check from left to right. Check the road side last, because that's the side that moves fastest.
Okay. Yep.
Great. Signal. Let's find the biting point, handbrake off, and move off into that starting position. Okay, remember we want to be half a metre away, not too far away, not taking up the whole road, but not too close to the car. That's it, nice and slow, great clutch control. Stay left, 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 left. And perfectly parallel is there. Great, straighten up and let's go forward a tiny bit more. Okay, excellent, stop there. So now just look over your left shoulder, look at your back passenger window. Can you see the back of the vehicle? Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go back until you can see the back, the boot side of that van, and that's when you're going to start turning left.
Okay.
Don't need to stop,
Yeah.
just start turning left. Cool? So we're in reverse, let's go into reverse. Before reversing, we do...
Would you check?
Always check around 6
left.
points.
Yep.
Great, and while you're going backwards, look backwards.
Yep.
And your handbrake's off, release the brake. We're on a little bit of a hill here, so the gravity's going to pull us backwards.
Yeah, so don't use much clutch.
So looking in your back passenger window,
Yep.
once you see it, keep the car nice and slow, start turning left.
So about
Great, there's one turn. Now look around again and then look back at your next reference point. What's happening in the mirror? Can you see the door handle? When it touches the curb, start turning right.
Okay, it's about now, so that's one to the right.
Okay,
Yeah.
great, slower, much slower, much slower.
So.
Keep the car moving and look around. Keep turning right. Keep turning right, and there. Keep, like, tiny bit more, perfect. There's your 2 turns. Look around, make sure that we keep on updating ourselves with what's around the car so that we can react quickly when there's anything around us.
And now, start straightening up.
Not yet. When we're parallel, look in your mirror here, you can see a V.
Oh yeah.
That's it, and there. Steer left and stop. Perfect, that's really close to the curb and perfectly parallel. That's good parking. Yeah. Handbrake neutral.
Handbrake.
Okay, that V I was talking about there, if you look in the mirror, you can see the curb and your car. When you're not quite there yet, you'll see a V in the mirror. There's your car, there's the curb. Once you're in that space, there'll be 2 parallel lines, curb and car, 2 parallel lines, and that's when you turn back and stop.
Yeah.
Cool?
Cool.
How was that?
There's just a lot to think about, and it's like you want to be looking at the mirror, but then you got to remember, oh right, I've got to look around.
Yes.
You know, so it's a lot to try and remember, but I think, like you say, you just got to try and break it down and just practice it.
Practice a lot. So that each reference point is natural. The steering happens naturally, and the pedals to make your car move nice and slow happen naturally as well. So that all you can focus on, all you have to focus on is looking around, because that's the most important thing on your manoeuvre, keeping everyone safe. You don't have to be perfect at parking, you just have to be safe at it, and then you can get perfect in your own time.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say it's the hardest manoeuvre we've done now, but it's not hard, it's just there's a lot to do and remember.
There's a lot to remember.
Yeah.
Your instructor's going to help you, and they're going to be there with you. They're going to remind you, like I did for Marcus, to look around. They're going to remind you what your next reference point is until it becomes natural. So don't be daunted by parallel parking. It is a hard manoeuvre and there is a lot to do, but it gets easier the more you practice it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. If you need help with any other manoeuvres, watch them here, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.